Yo, today is October 11th, 2022. Welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live. We are your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. We cover the breaking news, culture, pneumatic warfare. We'll show you why only Bitcoin can give you true financial sovereignty. And when we say that, we obviously mean freedom. Today, we have a very special show. We're going to talk about the hash rate breaking all-time high, what it means for Bitcoin miners. Bitcoin miners are feeling the pain, a huge difficulty adjustment, what that means. And also we're going to talk about how Grayscale is putting their gloves in the ring as it comes to Bitcoin mining. Is that going to lead to more centralization? We're going to talk about that. Also the release of Stratum 2, very exciting news. We have it all during the news segment. But first, I want to say a very special hello to Kirsten. Kirsten is helping organize and throw the Pacific Bitcoin Conference. How are you doing, Kirsten?
It's Kristen, but I am good.
I always mess up people's names, but the good news is that once I mess up, I correct it. So
I'll tell you a very quick story. As I was interviewing someone on a podcast once, I was mispronouncing her name. She never corrected me, let me mispronounce it for the entire interview, and then was mad at me afterwards. I was like, well, you could have just said something early on. So.
Yeah, it's super embarrassing. Do you know Knut Svanholm? I was calling him Newt for the longest time. He's like, hey, bro, it's not that. It's Knut. And I'm like, oh my God.
Well, now I know.
So now I know. Kristen,
all good. Kristen.
Oof, got it right. See, second time's a charm. Of course, and the legendary, the always optimistic Optimus Fields. How you doing, bro?
Well, I am doing wonderful on this day, and just to make a point, I think it's on brand for us not to be able to pronounce words over here, so this is why people love us.
Bro, we have the excuse. We have the ultimate trump card. We're Latinos, man. English is my second language.
It's not your fault.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Opti, what do you have for us during the culture segment, brother?
Okay, yeah, today's culture segment, I think I'm going to go in a little bit. I saw this article by Financial Times, and they are freaking out that Bitcoin is the most stable asset in the world. UK government bonds are going haywire, and there's a good little article about, oh my God, Bitcoin is more stable and less volatile than the most stable things there are. So it's going to be a fun one. I'm excited.
Are we winning?
I think we're winning.
Victory. Smell it?
Smells like victory. Smells like victory.
That's real good. Okay, all right, let's start the show. Let's do this. Number time. Brought to you by NODL. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse because now you can run a NODL through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today. All right, ladies and gentlemen. At the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is 19,130 sats per dollar, also known as Moscow time. For now, 5,228. Block height, 758,218. Reachable Bitcoin nodes, 14,938. Blocks to the halvening, 81,781. Halving estimate, April 20th, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity, 4,985. Capacity value, 95 million US dollars. Realized monetary inflation, 1.78%. Market capitalization, 366 billion. Bitcoin is still a tiny baby. Anyways, I want to take advantage of the number segment and the fact that Kristen is here today to talk to us about it. Did I say it right?
We're all going to laugh every time you say Kristen now.
Kirsten.
You did. You got it.
I said it right. Yes,
you're right.
I said it right.
Just think Chris. You can call me Chris. That's what my family calls me.
Okay, guys. So I want to take advantage of the fact that Kristen's here. We talk about this every day, the Pacific Bitcoin Conference. It's November 10th through 11th, Los Angeles, California. Speaker list includes Michael Saylor, Corey Clipson, Lynn Alden, Jeff Booth. You have a lot of heavyweights going to this conference, but you guys have heard that many times because we say it every day. We promote the conference, right? So, Kristen, what is going to be special about this conference? Why should people care? Why should people go? And is it going to be live streamed online? People watch it online if they really want to.
Yeah, all really great questions. The thing I've been saying about the conference is it's big enough to be super fun and small enough to really be worth it. If you've been to a Bitcoin conference, let's say quite a few years back, I know I went to one in San Francisco. There was maybe 1,000 people there. You could really feel connected to the community. And that's what we're shooting for at Pacific Bitcoin this year, is something that's intimate enough that you really get embedded in the community, that you can meet the speakers and shake hands, that you can feel really connected to the community, and obviously have a blast along the way. It's in Santa Monica, California. So we're going to have great weather. We're going to have great fun. There's tons of parties popping up around it. So for tried and true Bitcoiners, I think it's an opportunity to really connect deeply and get to meet people versus just being in like a giant circus where you're lost in a sea. And then if you're newer to Bitcoin, or you're just coming into the community, it's a great place to come and learn. Again, I can remember to the first conference I ever attended as a brand new Bitcoiner and someone who is a self-professed normie, meaning I'm not going to understand the highly technical conversations. I felt completely on the outside, not knowing how to learn about how to purchase my first Bitcoin or how to get a Bitcoin 401k. So the really cool thing is not only you're going to hear your favorite speakers and be able to meet them and be in a small enough environment to have that connection, but if you're newer, you're also going to have support. So you can come up and ask us how to get started, how to save, how to start a Bitcoin 401k, how to move your Bitcoin into cold storage, which of course Swan is a huge supporter of. That personalized support is also going to be there. So expect a great time, community, learning, parties, and support all in one place.
So you mentioned that there was going to be satellite events. Could you talk a little bit about, could you drop some hints for everybody?
Oh boy. Okay. So for sure, I know there is an ALS fundraising run being put together by Crypto Graffiti. It supports the foundation that Hal Finney's wife started, and that's going to be amazing. That's going to be happening on Wednesday prior to the conference, and signups for that will be he's ready to open the doors here pretty soon. So if you'd like to run on the beautiful California coast and you want to support the ALS Foundation, that's a great opportunity. There is a Thank God for Bitcoin event, I believe, also happening on that Wednesday. So that is popping up. That's going to be super exciting if you're part of that community. Great opportunity, again, to come and connect. We have a lot of people coming from local meetups. Toxic Happy Hour, they are hosting a pleb party the night before the event. Very, very fun. Then we have, what else? For VIP ticket holders, a VIP party Thursday evening. That is at the Bungalow at the Fairmont Hotel. So when you buy your VIP ticket, you get access to that special VIP party. And that's going to be attended by all the speakers. You can, again, meet Michael Saylor, meet Corey Clipston, meet all of our VIP main stage speakers. So a beautiful opportunity to hang out and party with us. And then Saturday, there are two parties after the conference. So the conference is Thursday and Friday. On Saturday is a beach day, which is all access. Like, we're going to drop a pin. Everyone can come hang out on the sand, surf, play in the waves, do whatever you want to. Take a nice long walk on the beach. That's for kind of post-conference chill out. And then again, for VIP ticket holders, there's a Swan Mansion party on Saturday. So there's a lot happening even just around the conference. I think for me, the first conference I ever attended in this space, it truly deepened my commitment and it deepened my confidence. It's a great way to just be the dumbest person in the room. And I always am in the Bitcoin community.
Man, that's really exciting. I like how you guys are, focusing on it being a social event, because I agree with you. I think that's really important. The connections that you make there either can get you a job or you're going to make friends for life. Opti and I actually met at a
100%.
conference.
You did?
Yeah, we met at BitBlock Boom.
Nice.
They're like, we met in person. We knew each other on the interwebs, but we met in person at BitBlock Boom. So yeah, I really recommend this. And the people over there at Swan and Pacific Bitcoin are kind enough to give Simply an awesome promo code, which you guys could use, all caps Simply, and it gets you a big discount on your Pacific Bitcoin tickets. Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show today, kind of giving the lowdown to everybody. We really appreciate it. And I'm really excited to actually meet you in the flesh in California.
I can't wait. And I'll say one more quick thing, if I may. There's the main stage, but there's also the Swan Dome. And the one thing I want to say, because your fans are likely hardcore Bitcoiners, the Swan Dome is going to be like the Bitcoin Twitter of the conference. So you definitely don't want to miss it. There's going to be trivia. There's going to be deeper conversations. There's going to be shanties being sung. Like, you definitely want to make sure you check out the Swan Dome if you're coming.
I'm really looking forward to this conference. It's going to be awesome. And I remember the Swan Dome from Bitcoin 2021. And it was a party in there. It was like that when you could find all your Bitcoin Twitter friends, specifically at the Swan Dome. That's where everyone was kind of hanging out about. So I have good memories of that, and I'm sure you guys are going to one up it at Pacific Bitcoin. Anyways, guys, promo code Simply. Chris, thank you so much for joining us on Simply Bitcoin.
See you guys soon. Thanks for having me.
Bye. All right, guys, let's get to the news, shall we? We have a lot to talk about. Let's check it out.
The Daily News.
Brought to you by Bitbox 2 Bitcoin Only Edition, a hardware wallet by Shift Crypto. Crypto like cryptography. It's secure, it's open source, and it's so easy your mom can set it up. Self-custody is the revolution, and the Bitbox makes it simple. Do not leave your Bitcoin on an exchange. Order a Bitbox today.
All right, guys. So good news for Bitcoiners. Very good news for Bitcoin. The Bitcoin hash rate continues to go absolutely parabolic in the depths of a bear market. That's right, Chinese Communist Party. Bitcoin took you to freaking school. All right, you banned it. You thought it was going to go away, but Honey Badger don't give a fuck, and it did not go away. So Bitcoin hash rate breaks all-time high. As you can see, I'll zoom in. Opti's still learning how to do this.
I learned how to do it this morning.
Fuck yes. Okay. So, and for our audio listeners, this thing is going literally parabolic. Now, I know a lot of you guys are thinking, it's like, why is the Bitcoin hash rate going parabolic? Oh, and let me actually define what the Bitcoin hash rate represents. So the Bitcoin hash rate represents, it's an estimation. There is no way to actually know what the actual hash rate is. Every website, they kind of guess, and they have their own algorithm, and they come to their own conclusion, right? But it represents the amount of computational power actively mining Bitcoin, right? But as we know, because of the difficulty adjustment, right, the more hash rate, the more computational mining Bitcoin, the higher the difficulty, the less Bitcoin you're going to mine with a specific miner. And to add to the pain, right, this is making an all-time high in the middle of a bear market, right? Bitcoin's 70% down, and your Bitcoin miners are mining less Bitcoin. Now, I know you guys are thinking, it's like, why are people plugging in more miners if the price of Bitcoin is going so high? Well, that's actually a good question, because it takes a long time to build out these facilities, right? So if you raise a ton of money, which a lot of companies did, right, over the last 6 months, you know, the top of the bull market, all these companies, they were using Bitcoin miners as collateral. They were raising all this money, right, to build out all these facilities. Well, they build them out, and what are they going to do? They're just not going to plug in the miners? Of course they're going to plug it in, but it's becoming very painful. And this article explains it beautifully. It's by decrypt.co. Bitcoin mining difficulty jumps 14%, hitting all-time high. Monday's difficulty hike is the single largest since May, when it rose by 22%. The Bitcoin network difficulty is set to adjust again in approximately 2 weeks, when it's estimated to drop only slightly, according to Bitcoin.com or BTC.com, right? So again, largest difficulty hike, meaning becomes harder to mine Bitcoin by 22%. That's a huge jump, right? Miners have been hit especially hard by the bear market, with mining revenue down 53% from the start of the year, according to blockchain.com, as the Bitcoin price has struggled to stay above 20,000 since it experienced an 11% slide on September 13th. Extremely painful to be a Bitcoin miner right now. But if you're a Bitcoiner, technically, theoretically, you could say that the Bitcoin network has never been this secure, right? And nothing comes close to this, I might add, right? Ethereum is out for the count, right? The BSV, Bitcoin Cash hash rate, they're static and they're all the way down here, right? The Bitcoin hash rate is far ahead, right? And I think the last metric I saw, Bitcoin mining now represents 94% of all proof of work mining, right? So the king is doing what kings do. Anyways, so I want to talk about the Bitcoin hash price index. This is a hash rate index by our friends over at Luxor. And it represents hash price, a term coined by Luxor that refers to the expected value of 1 terahash of hashing power per day. The metric qualifies how much a miner can expect to earn. And as for our audio listeners, it literally looks like a shitcoin. From October 20th, 2021 the USD terahash per day was at 41 cents. Fast forward to October, it's all the way down to 7 cents. So if you're a Bitcoin miner right now, you're absolutely feeling the pain, dude. This is some hardcore stuff, man. I feel bad. I feel really bad. But I'll tell you guys this is a lesson that I learned in 2018. If you have the cojones to stick around until the next bull market and you eat some of those costs, if you can, from my experience, you will be rewarded. From what I've heard from other OG miners is that you will be rewarded. Why? Because the price, you might be in the red today, right? But hey, man, if the Bitcoin price goes up 10x, if it goes 5x, right? Whatever you're mining today, multiply that by 5, multiply that by 10 in terms of fiat value. So your goal during this bear market, if you are a Bitcoin miner, is just to survive, right? It's just about survival. It's not about, oh, holy crap, I'm gonna make a ton of money. No, it's just about surviving, man. If you can hold on, right? If you can, Diogenes, your hash rate price looks like the USD. It's true. So if you could survive until 2024, 2025, you're good. You're Gucci. That's all you got to do. You got to stick around. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts on this, brother?
Well, first and foremost, we say it all the time, Bitcoiners build in the bear market, and hash rates at all-time high, block heights at all-time high. It's never been a better time to be a Bitcoiner. It's never been this secure on a network level, but it's also, if you think about it, like the risk reward of the Bitcoin network versus when you should get in. Like if you're a noob right now and you're looking at this stuff, the hash rate going parabolic, yes, the price is down a little bit, but it's never been a better time to buy Bitcoin. If the network is getting stronger and the price is low, what's that telling me? It means the Bitcoin's going to explode eventually, you know? And we were just at the mining conference, and one thing I took away was my friend saying that building in the bear market as a mining company is like the time when you want to be building, because like they're terrified of the bull market because that's when companies blow up. So as Nico is saying, if you're a home miner or, you know, a small Bitcoin mining company and you can withstand the pain right now.
They didn't tell me.
Yeah, that's what some friends told me. They're like, man, we're building out right now in the bear market and we're kind of afraid of the bull market because we're going to be making more money, but that's also when people try to over leverage themselves. And so it's about staying humble, you know, and keeping your head in the game. But as you said, if you're a home miner, you're a small mining company and you can withstand the pain right now, like you will be rewarded. And this is when the legends are made. And this is when you should be building out your mining infrastructure if you want to, because it's never been a better time to be mining Bitcoin. Like, yes, there is pain out there. And as Nico's saying, if you can eat the price right now, if you can subsidize that price via, I don't know, like a fiat job or something like that, or just be able to hold on to them sats, when number goes up, you're going to be happy about it. So, you know, continue to stack them non-KYC Bitcoins, them Bitcoins, them Bitcoin.
Con. I love the con. I hit the soundboard.
Oh, hold on. I need to prepare this soundboard better for you, but
I got it. It needs to be on the front page. There we go. I love corn.
I love corn.
Corn is great. Okay. Anyways, all right, guys. So let me talk about Grayscale. Grayscale unveils Bitcoin mining centered investment entity, and I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. It's like, this is noise. What the hell are we talking about this? Well, no. Grayscale, remember, they're the ones behind trying to push the Bitcoin ETF, right? They're huge. They have a lot of Bitcoin, and now they're getting into the mining game. And what they want to do is they want to offer that as an investment. Now, what worries me is who they're using as a mining pool, and we're going to get to that, but there is a happy ending at the end, so stick with us. So crypto asset manager firm Grayscale aims to take advantage of the slide in crypto prices with a new investment product focused on Bitcoin mining hardware. It was launched via the newly founded Grayscale Digital Infrastructure Opportunities, a private co-investment opportunity in mining hardware that powers the Bitcoin system. GDIO will use invested capital to purchase mining equipment as it becomes available for the sale in the coming months at what is likely to be discounted prices. There's some signal right there. That's telling you what smart money is what they expect is going to happen. But remember, at the end of the day, guys, what I expect to happen to the hash rate in the coming months, specifically if Bitcoin stays at these prices, is I expect it to fall similarly to what happened after the 2017 bull market. Remember, the 2017 bull market peaked It was, here we go, for our audio listeners, it really peaked in December, but the hash rate kept going for about a year, and it didn't have at the time, it didn't have that massive correction until October 18th. So it was about a year out. I expect this to do something similar, right? So anyways, getting back to the article. While a lot of people have exposure to cryptocurrencies themselves, it's significantly more difficult for the everyday investor to source, store, and operate mining equipment to generate a profit mining Bitcoin. Foundry, which runs one of the biggest mining pools, Foundry USA, will manage the day-to-day operations of the new entity, which is the first of its kind for Grayscale. Now, I told you guys that this was going to be a little bit of signal. Foundry USA already makes up 31% of the Bitcoin mining hash rate. That is way too much, right? And they just got a bunch of money thrown at them from Grayscale, right? Remember, the weakness that Bitcoin has is the 51% attack. You don't want it to get close to that number. 31% is already too much, right? These mining pools should increase, right? Poolin should be bigger. Luxor should be bigger. F2 pool should be bigger. And pool should be bigger, right? The 31 number is too big. Now, does that represent that Foundry owns 31% of the miners in existence? No. It's just convenient for people, specifically Bitcoin miners, that don't want that volatility and reward. They want a consistent reward. What do? It's in the hint is in the name, right? They pool their resources together, right? So that's why you have that 31%. But still, also keep in mind that that's Foundry USA. So you can make that assumption that those are miners based in the USA. And remember what happened with Marathon, right? They released the Mara pool, the OFAC compliant Bitcoin blocks, right? So you don't want a significant portion of the hash rate located, or mining pool, you don't want that located in a specific country, right? USA is great that, the country has a history of protecting property rights, but at the same time, right, Bitcoin is competing for all the marbles, right? What is the global reserve currency now? It's the US dollar. Who has the most to lose if the US dollar goes down? Well, you can make the argument that the American government has the most to lose. So is it too far of a stretch to make an assumption that, the American government is going to go after Bitcoin miners and Bitcoin mining pools in the USA? I mean, look at the digital assets framework released by the Biden administration. They were extremely hostile towards Bitcoin miners. Remember that report by Nick Carter? They were forcing Bitcoin miners to adhere to standards that were completely unfeasible. Right. So and no other industry is made to adhere to those standards, those policy standards. But the mining industry is made to adhere to them. So why is that? Well, clearly, I don't think it has anything to do with mining. We've made the case for you guys many times before. I think it all boils down to power and control, right? Money and politics. Anyways, moving on. So going back to this article, it says, as part of Foundry's mission to empower a decentralized infrastructure, we're excited to partner with Grayscale to broaden the ability to invest in Bitcoin mining during this opportune time. Now, fine. But if you want to learn about Bitcoin mining, if you want to invest in Bitcoin, what we recommend is buy Bitcoin, take that Bitcoin into self-custody. Don't buy an ETF. Don't buy a fund that gives you access to Bitcoin miners. If you really want to do it, it's a little bit more complicated than you think. Try mining on your own. If you don't have cheap electricity of where you're located, use a hoster. Ideally, you want to mine at home, or you want to have a facility to mine Bitcoin, right? But not everyone has that luxury. So, but again, it goes back to this idea of not your keys, not your Bitcoin. Same applies, right? Why are you going to buy an ETF? Why are you going to buy this fund when you don't have to, right? I would even make the argument, and Jeff Ross made the argument when he came on the show. He says, look, if we do this right, Bitcoin will take me out of a job, right? And he's a hedge fund manager, or he is a hedge fund manager, right? So again, why use these things if you don't have to? And again, not a big fan because they already make up 31% of the hash rate. Anyways, moving on. I told you I was going to end it on a good note. This is an article that came out from CNBC today, and I think it's historic, and it's something that we've talked about on the show. We've actually dedicated an entire episode to something called Stratum B2. What is Stratum B2? I'll get to it. The article says software used in Bitcoin mining just got its first upgrade since late 2012, and a coalition of companies, including payment giants Block, formerly Square, is trying to help push the open source protocol forward to become an industry standard. Remember, the CEO of Block is Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey left Twitter to go work in Bitcoin at full time, and he said many times before the most important thing that's happening right now is Bitcoin. So pay attention, because that's some signal right there. Pay attention to who that software was released by. The move could help open Bitcoin mining to more participants by supporting low quality internet connections, as well as improving security. Miners get properly compensated for their work. Rather than directly assessing the Bitcoin protocol, the vast majority of miners today work through an intermediary protocol called Stratum, which facilitates communications between the Bitcoin network miners and the mining pools. That combine the hashing power of thousands of miners all over the world. Miners use Stratum to submit their work and to collect a reward if they successfully complete a new block of transactions. It will take some time to convince the mining industry to adopt the new protocol, so Spiral, a subsidy of Jack Dorsey's payments company Block, is teaming up with Bitcoin mining company Brains to launch a group to test and fine-tune the open source software before they push mass adoption. Pay attention here. Currently, it is common for each mining rig and a large farm to directly connect to a pool. This setup wastes a lot of energy. Lee says that Stratum v2 supports a proxy that aggregates all the connections and only establishes one connection with the pool. The upgrade is designed to improve security as well. Today, it is possible to steal hash rate from a miner, which could lead to some miners losing money. Hash rate is a term for the collective computing power of the Bitcoin network. To resolve this, Lee says Stratum v2 introduces a standard security mechanism with authentication and encryption between miners and pools. The version being released Tuesday is for initial testing, and in early November, a more robust version will come out that supports additional functionality, including job negotiation, a feature that represents a historical shift in the censorship-resistant mechanisms of Bitcoin mining by replacing a pool's responsibility of assigning work to miners with the ability for the miners to select their own work. That right there is some signal. That is huge news. Because the way that miners work, the way that mining pools work today is that the mining pool gets to pick and choose which blocks are included into the Bitcoin blockchain. But now Stratum v2 assigns that responsibility to the individual miner. That means that if you're a tiny miner and you get lucky and you happen to find a block, right, you will have the capacity to get to assign or get to select which blocks you want to include in the chain. And that, in my opinion, that was one of the things that I feared about the most, because remember, guys, this is what I was telling you about the USA, right? Is a huge portion of the hash rate was located in the US. One of a huge mining pool, basically encompasses 31% of the hash rate already. Right, so you could have made the argument that the Foundry USA could have been tapped on by the Treasury, by the U.S. Treasury, and say, "Hey, only accept Office of Foreign Asset Controlled blocks." Now, does that mean that they would have been They would have been able to successfully censor Bitcoin? No, of course not, because all it takes is just one pool to add those blocks that Foundry USA passed on, right? But this decentralizes it even more, right? This is huge. And I'm going to read it again because I think it really is historic, like the article said. Feature that represents a historic shift in the censorship-resistant mechanics of Bitcoin mining by replacing a pool's responsibility of assigning work to miners with the ability for miners to select their own work. There are orders of magnitude more miners than pools. So if miners select transactions, it is far more decentralized than just a handful of pools. Working for industry-wide adoption of the upgraded Stratum protocol is one of the most important developments in improving the decentralization and censorship resistance of Bitcoin's architecture. As for timing, the pilot integration testing will happen this fall. Next year, the upgraded protocol will likely see greater adoption once miners and pools are confident it is working well. This is to quote Lee. He says, "I'd anticipate a gradual increase in hash rate in 2023, reaching 10% of the hash rate by the end of 2023 would be a great success." Dude, that is incredibly bullish. I'm very happy to hear that. I'm very happy to hear that. This is more of the decentralization of Bitcoin. You're witnessing it here. And that was one of the things that freaked me out the most, because I know that was one of the things that specifically the US government was going to try to co-opt, right? They're going to tap on those large industry miners and say, hey guys, you check off all the climate boxes as long as you censor these certain transactions by Iranians, right? So yeah, this is awesome. I hope it's successful. I hope they roll it out. And a little bit of signal once again is, here we go. Who is behind this? Jack Dorsey's behind this movement, right? Jack Dorsey's company Block is the one pushing this forward. And that makes me incredibly bullish. And also shout out to Brains. Everyone knows Brains. And it looks like they're partaking as well. This is freaking awesome, man. And again, Bitcoin companies working together to push Bitcoin's ethos of decentralization and censorship resistance. Freaking awesome, freaking incredible. We have a question by Crypto Potato. Is that Greg? Does this also make individual miners more open to targeting by government sanctions? That's an incredible question. I don't know, but how will they find out? How will they find out where that individual miner is? Or rather to punish individual miners for violating sanctions? It could be, man. I look, Opti and I have been covering this on a daily basis. It's going to get very fucking nasty. It's going to get hairy. You know that Opti calls them high-level parasites. I call them monetary demons, right? You know that these people aren't going to give over the keys and just go gently into that good night. You know they're going to put up a fight. And that's not only us speculating on that. Actually, we've been on top of this for more than a year now. That's exactly what's happening. I mean, the White House report was damning. The report by the Treasury, the future of money, was also damning. That entire report, they are making the case that the future of money is central bank digital currencies, and they don't mention Bitcoin, which by the way is huge amount of signal right there, right? So you already know where the cards are falling, right? Not to mention the MiCA regulation in Europe that Christine Lagarde was looking forward to, right? That in the wording, right, we still need more confirmation of that, but in the wording from the report, from the article that we covered, it basically said that they want to KYC, they want to force developers and software developers to implement KYC into the wallets, right? So yeah, man, this is going to be a crazy fight, but I'm hopeful that we can innovate faster, right, than they could try to regulate, right? And I think that that's where this is going. Man, they're fucking demons, man. They're demons and they don't want to give up power. And I think that this is what you're seeing right now. But dude, this is incredible news. So shout out to Block, shout out to Jack Dorsey, shout out to everybody at Brains. Fucking keep slaying it, because they're slaying it. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts, bro?
Well, first off, we started with the grayscale news, and I'm going to echo what BTC Pin said in the chat. Don't give Barry Silbert your money, man.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
And then to echo what HODLcoin said on Twitter, he responded to us in the Spaces comments, and he says, the fact that Grayscale is using Foundry seems a bit irresponsible, but I definitely understand considering that Foundry is the biggest pool. So, you know, just big forces uniting. But again, that's the worry of centralization of U.S. mining. And we say it all the time. Well, I don't know if we say it on our show all the time, but if it's not your ASIC in hand, it's not your hash, guys. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, so like,
I know, Nico.
It's not, dude. Not everybody has.
I know. I gotta meme you anyways, bro. This is our dynamic. But yes, again, guys. And my next point was, you know, if you are going to host, make sure you have a certain level of trust with the person. You've done your background. You've done your research, because again, there's been a lot of explosions in that realm. So it's just something to be considered about the game theory and the what do we always say, you know, the attack vectors of Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining. But furthermore, on the Stratum news, man, I think this is awesome and super bullish, and plus a testament to what I've been saying. First of all, the fact that it's on CNBC, like a testament to what I've been saying about Bitcoin crossing the Rubicon into mainstream consciousness. Like, they're talking about Bitcoin upgrading software, you know, mining software upgrades on legacy media as bullish news. And I got this comment on Twitter earlier when I posted this. I did a breaking tweet because I thought this was absolutely like really good news, and I thought it was a breaking story, and someone's like, this isn't breaking, and I'm like, dude, this is so bullish for Bitcoin decentralization when it comes to mining. that I thought this was breaking news. And to me, this is super important because we are minimizing the threat of censorship with pools. And this is what we're here to do. Continue to build out the infrastructure of Bitcoin and to see Bitcoiners build in the bear market, you know, in particular Block and Jack Dorsey. I think this is absolutely awesome news. And I can't wait till November to where we have this implemented completely and it's out of pilot testing. And we can see Bitcoin just continue to chug along and continue to win and take over the world. So we need more energy on Bitcoin. Make sure the strongest ledger in the world is more secure. Bullish. Absolutely bullish, Nico. I love it. I'm hyped on this news.
Yeah, dude, it's absolutely incredible. It's going to be a slow rollout, but it does give me hope because that potential exploitation is going to be taken off the table, right? BTC Pins says something really, hold on, I think Opti pulled up another. He said, Saint Opti's neglected. Is that another one of Opti's ex-girlfriends?
Apparently.
Oh, Jesus. So BTC Pins says, paper mining shares are even worse than hosted miners. That's some signal right there by BTC Pins. I agree. Michael Morrison says KYC in wallets, BitTorrent is a hell of a drug. Yeah, you're absolutely right, dude. But so the issue is not necessarily a desktop wallet, so like a wallet on your computer. The issue is a mobile wallet. 99% of people download their apps through the App Store, of which Google and iPhone completely control, right? And that's a very weak. That's a very easily exploitable weak point for governments, and I suspect they will go after that in the coming years. So anyways, guys, bullish news, some end news, some bullish news, but overall really bullish news. Can't kill the honey badger. It's not going away. Anyways, let's check out the culture.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today. All right, guys, I want to give a shout out to the largest Bitcoin conference on the West Coast, Pacific Bitcoin, November 10th through 11th, Los Angeles, California. Speaker list includes Michael Saylor, Alex Epstein, Lynn Alden, Corey Clipston, Jeff Booth, Dylan LeClaire, Robert Breedlove, Guy Swan, Mark Moss, Nico, and Opti are going to be doing a live Simply Bitcoin from the Pacific Bitcoin Conference. It's going to be an awesome celebration. Chris was talking about it earlier on the show. You could take advantage of the promo code Simply, all caps, to get a major discount on your Pacific Bitcoin tickets. We hope to see you all there. Anyways, Opti, what do you have for us today during the culture, my friend?
All right, guys. So as I told you guys yesterday in Spaces, I thought I was going to have my story for today. I'll push it on my list of things to cover for the rest of the week. But this article dropped and this tweet dropped this morning about an hour before we were going to start, and I just knew I had to cover it. So we got Robin Wigglesworth, editor of Financial Times Alphaville, and he tweets out, "Mind blown, the longest maturity UK government bond has crashed worse than Bitcoin over the past year or so." And if you just add this with some other news headlines that I've been seeing this week, we got Bloomberg, the most powerful buyers in treasuries are all bailing at once. And furthermore, rich millennials have lost confidence in stock market, Bank of America says. And just to see one quote, "The lack of faith in equities indicates that younger generations increasingly think a traditional portfolio of stock and bonds is not going to deliver above average returns over time." I believe that bondholders and treasury holders should be in disbelief.
Wait, no.
So let's get into this. Like, Bitcoin over gilt is the title of this article on Financial Times, and it says duration has blown up worse than crypto. So Robin Wigglesworth, same guy, he goes, "We can't believe we're writing this, but long-term inflation-linked gilts have now crashed even harder." Oh, yeah. Okay. Zoom in. Hold on. Oh, hold on. My fingers are too fat. It's not working. All right. Anyways, but long-term inflation-linked gilts have now crashed even harder than every online bro's favorite digital asset. Obviously, Obviously, this is a fight to be the least awful investment of the past year. Bitcoin is down about 67% since last November. Notice the bias, guys, and notice the fact that they're trying to dunk on us, even though number goes up. And I'll show you all the charts and the numbers afterwards. But let me get into this article. It says it's hardly something to shout about enthusiasts who claimed it would be a great inflation hedge. The fact that inflation-proof long-term UK sovereign debt has done even worse has blown our minds. Just look at the chart at the top of this post. This is stuff. You can see, as we say all the time, Bitcoin is the most stable currency in the world, even a stable asset in the world, if you want to use that framing. But the longest maturity UK government bonds in the market has lost 78.6% of its value since being issued on November 23. It's down over 80% from its peak in December 4. It's absolutely wrecked. An 80% drawdown for a UK government bond in less than a year, absolutely wrecked. Anyways, they say to us this shows two things. Firstly, that there has been a mass liquidation among UK pension plans that dominate the long-term linker market, and in long gilts in general, beyond what the UK's admittedly woeful economic and financial fundamentals would indicate. But certainly when duration blows up, it can inflict just as much pain as a silly cryptocurrency or shaky junk bond. And obviously they're biased. This is the fiat times, bro. So of course they're going to try to dunk on Bitcoin. But hold on. Dylan's tweet here, and he goes, I am here once again to reiterate that bonds are trading like absolute shitcoins. So he's quote tweeting the tweet by Tracy Alloway, and he goes, looks like the volatility of some UK government bonds has exceeded that of Bitcoin recently. And we've been telling you guys this consistently, that Bitcoin is the most stable asset, the most stable currency in the world. But let's just jump into it. Remember, I showed you guys the chart yesterday. You know, if you're here just for the gains and just for the returns, the yuppie elites and TradFi bros are still in disbelief. I showed you this chart today. I zoomed in a little bit, and you can see that quarter 3 of 2022, based on asset classes, Bitcoin has the highest return. And, you know, what do we have here? Precious metals, 1.3%, cash, 0.2%. We got global bonds at -2, gold at -2, 10-year treasuries at -5, commodities -7, long-term treasuries -8. And here at the bottom, REITs at -12.29%. So if you're here just simply for the gains, Bitcoin is still the best returning asset in the market currently. It's almost like Bitcoin was built for this exact moment. But if we're comparing Bitcoin as a currency on its inflation rate, we know that the current inflation rate for the US dollar is 8.3. We have, I think it's over here, yes, we have the UK inflation rate at 9.9%. We have, you know, different inflation rates in the world, and still Bitcoin in its realized inflation rate, which I have over here, is less than even Japan at 1.74. And we show you this in the numbers every single day. But I think this is the point, guys, that we need to understand. And this is how you know what is really happening with inflation. So what is the current inflation rate? And it goes based on the rule of 72. If inflation is 7.2%, it will take roughly 10 years for prices to double. But with 8.26% inflation rate, prices will double in roughly 8.7 years. And I think based on the math we have right now, it's like 8.4%. And even though they try to dunk on us because on a year basis, yes, we are down. You guys already know, zoom out, number goes up, and they are in disbelief. And we all know, at least I hope we all know, that Bitcoin's monetary policy, the monetary inflation, we are here at 6.25%, and in 2024 it's going to get cut in half, and 4 years later it's going to get cut in half, which means that the realized inflation rate of Bitcoin will continue to go down, and no other currency, no other asset can even compare to this. And let's just continue to add more signal on top of this. The circulation amount of Bitcoin right now is 19.15 million, which means we are almost at the 21 million, and we will have our monetary policy set in stone until 2140. And just to add some more signal in here, remember when we covered this the other day, that investors are ditching the euro and pound for Bitcoin in record numbers as their value plummets. And remember when we covered this one as well, billionaire investor Stephen Druckenmiller says mistrust in central banks could lead to crypto renaissance. Bitcoin renaissance is what he really means. And I have this tweet here by Luke Gromman. I saw this right before the show. And, you know, this isn't not just me and Nico telling you this. This is billionaire investors. This is people that are understanding what's going on in the macro landscape. And he goes, earlier this year, I thought most investors and policymakers clearly do not understand what BTC crashing means. It's coming for the financial system and global economy, because if they did, they would not be laughing / enjoying their sense of schadenfreude. And just to add some more signal, you know, the euro is under the dollar. It's at 97 cents currently in the second week of October. So all currencies are in a freaking death spiral right now. And as Bitcoiners, what do we always say? Sats are my stable coin. And I only bring all those receipts in to try to elucidate the idea to people out there that there is nothing as stable as Bitcoin right now. The hard cap monetary policy of Bitcoin is the reason why we are winning. Yes, the price is down since its all-time high, but it's still hovering above 2017 all-time high of 19K. At least it's hovering around there. And what is this telling me? If all of the world's markets are blowing up right now and Bitcoin is this stable, sats are my stable coin, I could not imagine holding any bonds, stock market assets. Like, you would not want to hold anything but Bitcoin right now. And look, again, we are libertarian at heart. I am not going to tell you what to do with your money. But if you don't have a small portion allocated to Bitcoin right now, you are doing yourself and your clients a disservice. As I don't know if you guys saw our Greg Foss interview we did the other day, but if you merely only have 1% of your assets in Bitcoin and everything else drops and Bitcoin goes 100x like we think it's going to go in the future, 20-year hold, you're going to save your portfolio. And who knows how far the legacy media can continue to kick this can down the road. But in my opinion, they have lost control of everything. And yes, look, did you see that? The decoupling incoming. Like, guys, we are living in absolute crazy clown world times, and central banks from all around the globe are fighting at each other. You know, we had the UN telling the Fed that if they raise rates, like, you're going to blow up our economy. I think this is all a feature, not a bug. So guys, do yourself a favor and save in Bitcoin. This is not just an investment. This is not just a play for more fiat. This is a hedge against monetary insanity, and you need to save in Bitcoin, because who the hell knows what is going to happen going into the future. But we know what is going to happen with Bitcoin. And personally, I would be losing my mind if I didn't have Bitcoin. I would feel the rat race, and I would feel as depressed as most people out there. But Bitcoin and sats are my stable coin. Bitcoin is the most stable currency. Bitcoin is the perfect money in the world, and you should be saving it, because everything else that is supposedly inflation-proof, that is supposedly stable, is getting wrecked out there. So hold Bitcoin, save Bitcoin for the long term. This is an inflation hedge, a monetary inflation hedge, not just price inflation hedge. They have debased the currency, and you need to hold something that is secure and not going to lose value over time, and that is Bitcoin. Number will go up, and freedom will go up following that. Anyways, Nico, rant over, jump in, add your salts and flavors and spices into there.
Oh, the applause thing isn't working. That's a shame.
I got some.
No, dude, look, I think you did a great job. Look, the fact that Bloomberg is admitting defeat, the fact that Financial Times is admitting defeat, that FinTech article had a lot of signal. In that article, it said something like, if this was just due to the price, we would have seen something, you would have seen something very similar in May 2020 and May 2021. But they're making the case that people are actually opting out of Bitcoin because of the failure of their local fiat currencies. And add to the mix what, look, guys, the Financial Times it's like Bloomberg, man. It's very well respected in the traditional finance world. And the fact that they're coming out with an article that it says Bitcoin more than, the equivalent of a bond in the UK that's absolutely massive. That tells you that we're winning. I would even frame that. Like, that article it's to me, it's as historic as the, fiat currencies are not memes that also was released by the Financial Times. It's that historic. That's absolutely massive. And just over time, right? Inflation compounds, right? So it's not, even if inflation goes back down to 2%, it's not that next year, you know, the prices are going to roll back. It's just, you're just getting poorer slightly slower, right? They never tell you that. It's not that the prices are going to go back down. It's just, they're not going to go higher as fast. And the absolute failure of bond markets, man, like that, dude, Bitcoin is taking everything to absolute school. You will find a safe haven here. And I think that's what it's showing. And I think you're going to see more and more articles, man. Look, the next bull market is when Michael Saylor and Nayib Bukele, they're going to look like fucking geniuses. They're going to look like studs, right? And that's when I'm really curious to see if other public companies are going to follow suit, and if other nation states, specifically the ones that don't issue their own fiat currencies, are also going to follow El Salvador's footsteps. My bet is that they will, because incentives are irresistible, right? And I believe that on the most basic level, I think Bitcoin wins eventually, because it's something that I always tell you guys. Incentives are stronger than coercion, and I think incentives are going to win this, right? And what do they have to offer? Shitty fiat? Shitty bonds, right? It's like, no, people have had enough of that. Fuck the fiat, fuck the money printer. Fuck these monetary demons. Fuck these high level parasites. It's time for Bitcoin, man. And I think Bitcoin's going to win this at the end of the day. But holy crap, it's going to be a bumpy road. Anyways, Opti, it's time for the meme review. Let's do it.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by CipherSafe. Don't be that person that loses their Bitcoin seed due to fire damage, water damage, dog attacks. Back up your generational Bitcoin wealth on steel. And there's no better place to do it than the Cypher Grid by CipherSafe. And now check out their new Bitcoin art, the Bitcoin Rulux triangle, only on cyphersafe.io.
Let's go. Okay, you already know the meme for the meme review. Tweets are the bullets and memes are the artillery out there. We are in an information war. As you can tell, all the legacy media is trying to dunk on Bitcoiners in any way possible, but you can't stop the signal. The signal is continuing to bubble to the surface and breaking through to mainstream consciousness. So continue to dunk on them. Continue to do the shit post. I know Rusty was saying that you shouldn't be shit posting. All I was trying to say yesterday is have more call to arms out there, and let's get our messaging better so that more people understand that we are actually fixing the world. Anyways, this first meme is by my boy Selly, aka at Don_T-Cell, and he goes, there's like a knight here for those in the spaces, and it's got an arrow, it's debt, it's got another arrow, that's inflation, it's got another arrow, that's fascism, and he pulls out a Bitcoin orange potion. He drinks the orange potion, he goes gulp gulp, and he breaks it all off with his freaking big ol' thunder arms over here. Bitcoin stays winning. You cannot keep Bitcoin down. And this next one, this is a fractal encrypt screenshot, but I really think it's a great meme because people seem to forget this messaging. So we got some person here, Wendy Wong. She goes, if the government could just appoint 10 reliable people who could do all the mining on their laptops, we could save 99.99% of energy costs. And Safe Dean comes on and goes, congratulations, you just invented ETH. Oh man, I love that one. I love that one. This next one is by @StackChainQuaint, and this is one that hits me personally. This is one I really feel to my soul. We got I forget what movie this is, but the meme of three people with the guns. The first person is people living paycheck to paycheck, and then we got the lady with the gun behind his back, and goes businesses living month to month, and then a gun behind her back, and it goes banks living bailout to bailout, and then we got a sniper here, and it goes governments living war to war. And then we got just like a Bitcoin cat with laser eyes with his gun and just goes Bitcoin living. Bitcoin is, and that's all that matters. And this next one, again, this is a screenshot, but I think this is a great meme and a great call to action in the same moment. And this is Alan B. Watson. He goes, the most important question to ask every politician is, what's your stance on Bitcoin? Tells you everything you need to know. And he got one of those spam telemarketing texts about, can we count on your vote for whatever city council by November 8th? Stop to opt out. And he responds, what's your stance on Bitcoin? And immediate response is, I'm opting you out of text immediately. Have a great day. I think we all should do that more. If I remember and I get one of these, I'm doing the same thing. This next one is by our boy, Mr. Robot, aka the Bitcoin Doctor. And we tell you guys all the time, we are in the then they fight you stage. We're in the early rounds, and I really love what he did here. He goes, we are past the then they fight you stage. We're in the ring, and you can see a boxing ring right here, and we got Bitcoin as one boxer, and we got, I can't even read it, but it looks like the Federal Reserve or your governments, and it goes freedom money, the fight for freedom money. We are in the ring right now, and if you aren't aware, they're coming from all sides, guys. This is why we keep telling you guys to prepare, get yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually fit for the battle that is about to be on our front desk, our front step. And this next one is by, I forget what WSB is, but WSB chairman, and he goes, buying the dip while the president warns of nuclear Armageddon, rumors of banks blowing up, and major currencies collapsing. And it's a Labrador on the computer, just buying the dip. Buy the Bitcoin dip. I would not be buying any other quote unquote dip because you're probably just burning money. This next one, I think Surf Supply does a great job here, and he goes, simplicity is key. And it's just like a dictionary input of a Bitcoiner, and it goes, Bitcoiner, a noun, someone who owns Bitcoin, but two, the most important one, a person working to separate money from state. This is what we do. This is what we continue to spread on here. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Pins. Wall Street bets. I forgot. Anyways, a Bitcoiner, a person working to separate money from state. So for these memes, Nico made fun of me yesterday. I got meme review shamed for my score yesterday. So I'm running out of gadgets. I'll have to go buy more gadgets. But today's meme review score is this bag for my camera tripod. The tripod bag. Okay, your score, Nico.
All right, I'm gonna give it this black electrical tape. It's just electrical tape, and it's black. And you could use it for many things, not just electrical stuff. Black electrical tape. Anyways, Michael Morrison. Guys, by the way, this is Simply Bitcoin.
Give your score.
Simply Bitcoin Live. Drop your score in the live chat, which is why you have to make it to the live show. And we will read your score on the meme review, because it's a meme review, and that's what we do. We review memes. Michael Morrison says, I give those memes a Bitcoin staring at the end of a gun barrel, calmly informing its holder, you cannot kill me, in a way that matters. If you know the mushroom meme, you know. Okay, very deep. Wow, I like that. I like that reference, man. Diogenes, I give those memes savage safe. Dude, safe is a savage. Okay. HODLcoin, I give those memes my Michael Saylor pirate ship model. St. Opti's neglected beep for Kathy. Score 69 missed messages from Kathy to St. Opti. Bro, I'm telling you, like, if you want to know why Ursula von whatever and Christine Lagarde dislike Opti and dislike Bitcoin so much, it's because Opti dumped them for Bitcoin. And they'll never forget it. Never forget it.
Hey, can you blame me?
They'll never forget it. Mr. Robot. Mind your business shirt from the conference. Okay. Oh, if you know, you know. If you've been to the mining conference. BTC Pins, I read the memes. The clown that followed me home from the grocery store. Oh, man. I hope you're okay, man. BTC Sovereign Pleb, I give those memes a King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard Red Rockets tour poster. Wow. I like that. It's a lot of words. I like how it flowed off my tongue. Okay, I have to read that again. The Lizard Wizard
King
Red Rockets
Gizzard and
tour
the Lizard Wizard Red Rocks
wow.
tour.
It's a great name. It feels good to say it. All right, Max Trotter. I gib like yellow. I gib immersion mining. Okay, very good scores. Very good scores for some awesome memes,
Hold
guys.
There's no more meme review scores, but I like this one. I think we got a new person here that shows. Oh my God, that's amazing! Memes for the win. Let's go.
Thanks, Crypto Potato. Possibly Greg. Oh, we got one more Opti. We got one more from Jason. Jason says the score is Billy Bread's rap song. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
I'll have to look that up.
All right,
good
guys,
segue.
Go check out Simply Bitcoin Unfiltered. It's the written version of this show. You got to go to www.simplybitcoin.news and subscribe. It's a Substack. It's absolutely free. And every time one of Simply Bitcoin's awesome writers, shout out Zach, Rustin, Paul, Weinikis, write an article, will be sent to your email.
Soon Nico, bug him to write something.
Maybe. Go also check out Simply Bitcoin's Telegram group. That's how you can link us Bitcoin memes to review. It's also free. Go to www.t.me/the Simply Bitcoin channel. It's freaking awesome. It's a party in there. That's where you could link all the memes and Opti will put them on the show. You could also tag us on Twitter, by the way. Tag the Simply Bitcoin handle, and that will also make it on the Simply Bitcoin meme review. One last score from Global Nonsense. I give them a wobbly Ukrainian breach. All right, let's check out the software update.
Bitcoin software release.
Or was it a website by Plebe?
No, yeah, I did.
Plebsites.
I did a quick okey doke on you this morning because I saw this one. I saw this last night. Gigi reposted this, and this is a site by plebs. Plebrap.space. You can go listen to some Bitcoiner raps by Pleb Raps. It's not in English, so I literally don't know what language it is, but you know, as someone that's into rap music, as someone that's into spreading signal, is German. Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's start bumping some Pleb Raps in German and spread the signal, guys.
Can you imagine Opti speaking German?
Oh, I can't. I should, though. Anyways, guys, if you guys like what we're doing here and you want to listen to the signal continuously, we are on Anchor, we are on Spotify, we are on Apple Podcasts. And if you love what we're doing, we are on Fountain. We are a part of the Value for Value economy. And you can stream us some sats, and you can clip us and put us on Twitter and get that signal out there. Nico, still, I'll have to log into the Fountain app so that I'll do it.
If you go check out BTC Sessions, he has something connected to his node and he can read out the messages, because we got to do that, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
We got to do that.
I'll figure it out.
We got to figure it out. Okay, awesome. All right, guys, so stay tuned. We'll read some of your shout outs that you send us. Thank you so much for everybody for streaming us sats on Fountain. Really appreciate it. Guys, all the support we can get, it's really appreciated. Believe it or not, it's very difficult to make content every day. Oh man, creator burnout is real. Okay, guys,
facts.
We love you all. We're not kidding. Guys, we love you all. Really appreciate it. It really helps us if you drop a like. If you feel like this content provided you some value, consider hitting that subscribe. And the number one thing that you could do to push the Bitcoin revolution is share this video. In fact, share all Bitcoin content. We have to wake up as many normies as possible to get them on our side of the football. It doesn't matter where they are politically speaking. It doesn't matter whether they're left or right. It doesn't matter. All you need to do as an individual is hand out and make sure as many people as possible take the orange pill. And when I say that, I mean Bitcoin. Guys, we love you. We will see you tomorrow. Brand new episode of Simply Bitcoin. See you guys later.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.